So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to enjoy the sacrifices to the journey of success. So in my teaser video, I talked about how, I made the decision to be successful. I made a decision to get to the top. Whatever it's going to take for me to get to the top, I'm going to do it. But not whatever it will take legally. I mean, whatever it will take legally. So because when we say whatever it takes, a lot of things are involved, right? So but whatever it will take legally for me to get to the top, I'm willing to pay the price, I'm willing to make the sacrifices, and I'm willing to see myself climb through the ladder of success. And also, it's not all about me being successful, it's about making the journey to being successful easy for people following me, or for my mentees, or for people who look up to me. So I said also that I left for the United States last year in 2023. So while I was leaving, I wasn't leaving because I want to be successful. Maybe that is somewhere, in my subconscious, but that wasn't the main goal, right? I want to go to America to go and get this degree, to be a master's degree holder, and of course, proceed to my further education. But when I go to graduate school, I faced so many challenges. When I mean challenges, I mean I started doing things that I never knew I could do. The stress, the academic rigor, the books we read, the lectures, the assignment, the deadlines. I had to stay awake to read to make sure I meet my deadlines. I began to do things that ordinarily I wouldn't have been able to do. I didn't know that those strengths, I had those strengths in me. So I began to. So when in the beginning it was very difficult, it was very tough. I thought I couldn't do it. I think I've spoken somewhere in my video where I said I had to, seek the advices of counselors, psychiatrists, spoke to my lecturers, my professors, I did a lot of things to kind of get myself used to the environment, or to get myself acclimatized to the system. So it was in the process that I began to notice a lot of things. I'm sorry, there's a dog barking in the background. I hope you don't hear it. So I began to do things differently. I began to so it was when I started doing this assignment, when I started reading my books, and I could meet these deadlines, right? I could write a research paper and get some positive feedback from my professors, and then at the end of the semester my grades comes out and it's something to be happy about. So I started seeing myself doing things that ordinarily I didn't know I could do. For me, before, it was just all about, oh, read and pass the exam. But graduate school stretched me. It uncovered those potentials in me. It made me to realize that there is more. It made me to understand that, look, beyond coming here to graduate school, coming here to read and get this degree, there is more. My eyes opened. I began to see opportunities. I began to see things that ordinarily I would have, not things that I have looked at in the past, but I didn't know that these are opportunities I can milk. So the challenges in graduate school, the rigor, made me to explore those aspects of my life. And that was when I said, okay, the price for success. It was at that point I started craving for success. I think I had this craving, this huge craving for success. I think it was in January this year, because I remember as of last year, December, as of 2023 December, I didn't have a goal for 2024. I didn't have a roadmap. But in January, when I went back to school, it became clearer, of course, by the Spirit of the Holy Spirit. By the gift of the Holy Spirit, I began to see a lot of things. God blessed me with the spirit of discernment. I started seeing things that I never knew that I could milk. I started paying the price for success officially in January 2024. And do you know what I did? I'm going to talk about this in my next video, but let me also say it now. What I did was I shut out everyone. I limited the number of people I talked to. I limited the number of people I shared things to, because I was at that point where it was important for me to make some certain decisions as regards my career, my goals, or the things that makes me happy. So one part of me was saying, oh, this is going to work. Another part of me was saying, this is not going to work. So I was in that dilemma. And at that point, the person I speak to, or the people I speak to at that point really matters, because a part of me was just waiting to hear, oh, this is not going to work. And then if I had heard that, I would have just zeroed everything that I was pursuing. But then another part of me was just waiting to hear, you see this, do it. You're going to succeed, you're going to excel. So because at that point, I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who is the right person to speak to. I kind of shut out everyone. When I mean shut out everyone, it's not like I wasn't communicating. Of course, I was communicating with my mentors, I was speaking with my friends, but when it comes to the things that has to do with my perspective, which is what I spoke about in my previous video, when it comes to understanding my perspective and how far I want to take my career to, I wasn't speaking to anyone about it. What I did was I buried myself in development, in self-development. It hasn't ended. I'm still growing. I'm still developing myself. So what I did was cut off everyone. I buried myself. I remember I spent a lot of money buying books, whether you call it motivational book or inspirational books. I started buying books. Started buying books, Atomic Habits, Power of Now, books from Dan Mattel, Tony Robinson, from Id Millet, So it was when I was reading those books, I began to realize a lot of things. I began to see that, there are things that I have not been doing right. Not because I didn't want to do them right, but because I did not have the right information. So it was at that point, I think in one of my podcasts, when I was listening to one of the podcasts, I think it was Id Millet's podcast, he said there is no right time to start something. Is it either Id Millet or Alex Homonzi? I think it's Alex Homonzi, sorry. So he said that when we keep waiting for the right time, it means that we are waiting for a time when we keep waiting for a right time to start something, or when we'll be free to start something. It means that you are waiting for a time in your life when you'll be free, you will not be doing anything before you start that thing. And then trust me, that time will never come. So he said the right time to start something is try and learn how to do things when you are busy, so that when you get busy again, you now know how to do them. So what I did then was, graduate school was there, a lot of things was there, and I'm already doing Real Talk with Sochi, which was a lot of work already. And I was looking for when is that appropriate time for me to even start pursuing my career in film, as a historian. What is the connection? How do I make film as a historian to tell different stories, how do I harness the media tool? So it was at that point that I said, okay, that particular phrase or that particular sentence, from Alex Homonzi made me to say, okay, even in my busy schedules, I need to start pursuing this career, because by the time I'm waiting to be free, that time will never come. So you know what happened? Because graduate school have already stretched me, because graduate school have already taught me how to manage my time, time management became paramount. I could now manage my time. I could do a lot of things, so I had to weave in this thing. I had to chip it in my career, in my schedules. So what happens is that even as I'm busy, I'm still doing it. It's still part of me being busy. Of course, there is time to rest. There is time to take take a nap, to sleep, to take a break. Like currently we're on summer break. It's time to take break and all of that. But what happened is that I'm no longer waiting for the right time, because the right time will never come. So the right time to start is start it even when you are busy, so that when you are busy, you already know how to navigate it and you will do it. So I started craving for success officially. January 2024, I told myself I'm going to pay the price for success. So you know what happened? When we talk about the goals or career, it's important to have love for what you do. In my first and only guest for now, I'm going to talk with Sachin, David Adamandiodu, who is a PhD candidate there. Now he has graduated from the University of Mississippi, originally from Ghana. He said that it's very important you do what you love, have love for what you do, which would also say have a passion for what you do, because when I say how to enjoy the sacrifices to the road of success, that is because I enjoy what I do, right? I have this thing, I have this application to write, I have this grant to write, I have this thing to write, I have this to contact this person, to reach out to these people. It's a whole lot of work. Only one person is doing it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't delegate. I mean, for a startup, for someone like me, I'm still starting up. I barely know my left from my right, but there is only one thing I know. The only thing I know is that I love what I'm doing so much. So the stress, the sleepless night that comes with it, the failure that comes with it. When I mean failure, I mean the failure failing forward, feeling forward, where you feel to move to the next level, to learn. If you learned your lesson and that lesson you've learned, I'm using it to put in the next thing you are doing. I began to enjoy the stress. I began to enjoy the sacrifices. So when I mean enjoying the sacrifices to the road of success or being successful, it starts from you doing what you love. Make sure that whatever you have settled to do, you're doing it because you love it, not because someone pushed you into it, or not because someone said you should, this is where there is money, or this is what is now trending. In as much as, yes, a lot of things begins to trend lately, or a lot of things are trending, but you have to find a way to still make, even as you are trying to follow the trend, make it your love, make it what you love, make it what you have passion for. Because currently, I enjoy my sleepless night. I'm not saying it's good to not have sleep, but it's a sacrifice I'm comfortable making. I'm paying that price for growth, and I'm very comfortable paying those prices. So you have to be willing to pay the price. You have to, because growth is costly, very costly, and you really need to be willing to invest in yourself. So the sleepless night, the time I'm awake to write the research, the time I'm awake to do some meetings with my delegates, with my colleagues, for Lifeline, for my film and everything. I haven't really spoken about Lifeline, but very soon I'm going to talk about Lifeline. So I began to enjoy the road. I began to enjoy the stress to success. So when I shut out everyone, I buried myself in self-development. I read books. I started reading books to know what is the connection between history and media. How do I come in? How do I penetrate into the health industry as a filmmaker, also as a historian? So I bought a lot of books. I started reading those books. I was spending money. Yeah, ordinarily I could have saved my money, but I knew that when I develop myself, when I attain growth, when I add values, when I become relevant, money will become the reward. So I made those decisions. I went out of my comfort zone to invest in myself. And I'm still investing in myself. Even as I'm talking to you on Real Talk with Sachi, I'm developing my public speaking skill. I'm speaking to the camera because I'm entering into the field or career where I have to speak all the time. So what is the easiest way to start talking, to practice how to talk? It's through podcasting, and that is what I'm doing, right? So I began to do all those things. So it was when the results started coming out, when the little results started coming out, when I was sure that, oh, this is what I really want to do. That was when I started opening up. I started talking to people. So at that point, nobody could take me back again. I wasn't being skeptical of who to talk to. Currently, I know how to sieve the grain from the wheat, or the chaff from the grain, right? So when I speak to someone and the person is not coming with a good advice, I know how to say no. But in the beginning, it was difficult. I was scared. I was afraid. One part of me was saying, do this, is going to work out. Another part of me was saying, it's not going to work out. You're going to waste your money. You're going to waste your resources, your energy, and all of that. So I just took that decision not to discuss it with anybody. I followed my heart, and then I started talking about it now when I feel like, okay, I now know what I'm doing. Not that I have it all figured out, but to an extent, I know what I'm pursuing, and I'm ready for the valley of despair. I'm ready for the failing forward. I'm ready for, of course, life happens. When things are going smoothly, there will be a time where it feels like nothing is going, but of course, we don't quit. Go-getters, we don't quit. When we dream big, we don't quit. When we quit, that means we not just quit for ourselves, we quit for a lot of people who are hoping on us for a better tomorrow. So this is my journey to success. This is what I'm doing. I'm just starting. I'm going, and I believe and I trust God that with His strength, because I now know that I can do all things through Christ that strengthened me. So graduate school opened my eyes. Graduate school made me to understand that, look, there is more. There are a lot of hidden potentials in me that I'm yet to explore, and I haven't even uncovered all of them. I'm still in graduate school. I'm still in the journey. I'm still in the process, and I'm looking forward to a lot of things to different dimensions that are still hidden in my life that I'm yet to uncover. So guys, please, what I'm saying here today is, be willing to pay the price for success. Success is not a destination, it's a lifetime journey. A lot of Success means a lot of things to different people. It means different things to different folks. What it means to me is not what it means to anyone out there or someone out there. So you have to be willing to pay the price and make sure that what you're pursuing is what you have love for. Make sure what you have interest in, because when it becomes tough, when it becomes dark, because you have passion for it, is what will keep you going. So I remember while I was on set, a few days ago, I was speaking to my director. I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm losing my passion. I think I don't even have love for what I'm doing again, because I've really put in a lot of things in this, and it's beginning to give me migraine. And he looked at me and said, by the time you see the success or the result of what you've done, that passion will come back. And trust me, I haven't even seen the result yet, but the passion is back like it never left. So I'm emphasizing on love what you do. Make sure you love the things you do. Make sure you love it. Don't do it because you're under pressure. Don't do it because you want to please someone. Don't do it because it's the trend. Do it because you want to do it. You love it. It's something that when you wake up every day, you're going to still see yourself. You find the strength to do it, even when the rejection and the failures are coming in. So thank you for joining me on Real Talk with Sochi today. I hope you've been able to see how, as a startup, whether entrepreneur, academia, you have a goal, be willing to pay the price for success. Please share this video to your loved one. Share this video, comment, let me hear your story as well. Let me hear how you navigate through decision-making process. Are there times in your life where you've made such decisions where you feel like, oh, you don't need to speak to anybody because you are scared, not because the people in your life don't love you, but you don't know the right people to talk to at that point. So if you've been in that situation, please, I would like to see your story. I would like to hear your story. Please leave it in the comment section. Share with your family members, share with your loved ones. And thank you again for joining me on Real Talk with Sochi. And all we do here is to explore vulnerabilities, discuss success, make people, encourage people to own up to their weaknesses, to their strengths, and of course, we keep growing every day. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.